very confident person. I had a really good dad. I was raised with two parents in a home that the mother was home all the time. So, in many ways, I had bigger balls than most of these people that have to belong to a group to prove that they are, God, I don't know, equal? I'm not even sure. So I don't know what this belonging to religious group or belonging to the Masons or belonging to a white nationalist group or an identity group. I don't know what that is. I don't have any need to do it, and I do not understand it. So people don't tend to bother me because I don't get that. I don't need that.
I don't get it either. I see the value of the churches in being a social group, gives you somewhere to go. I've always traveled from town to town, from state to state. You know, I wanted to see the world. You know, so I've always been the loner. I'm the I think how did I refer to myself? Oh, as the eternal stranger.
Well, you're eternal. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, it used to be nocturnal, but then I got old and had to go.
Yeah, I used to be a beer drinker, but I started falling asleep, so all that stuff is gone. You know.
But back to this Christian identity thing. I mean, you know, I can buy into some of it, but some of it. Let's make it personal here. Let me ask you, who did your 2,000 year ago ancestors sleep with?
Who did my ancestors sleep with?
Yeah. Who were the, you know, I mean, the Christian identity is trying to tell us that 10,000 years ago Eve slept with the devil and produced the Jews. You know, I'm not buying into it like that. I mean, I could believe better that the white Anglo-Saxon Americans are descended from the Cro-Magnon men from 100,000 years ago, and I think it's quite possible we could have had a war with the Neanderthals, a very violent race of people, because all of the historical evidence shows that they were, you know, always in fights and maybe our ancestors fought the Neanderthals. And we evolved, and they evolved into something else. But to try to link all Jews, all blacks, anybody that's not white to some kind of evil, I'm just not going to go for that. I've done a lot of business and made a lot of money with Jews over the years. Never quite as much as I was supposed to make. But every time I've been ripped off, every time I've been put down, every time I've had a problem with somebody, they've been Christians. White Christians.
That doggone group that is so perfect, right?
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't go into anything like that. No Neanderthal, nothing like that. What I believe is it comes down to, are you chemically balanced? When you're born, do you stand a fighting chance of coming out chemically balanced? Did your parents raise you fairly? Did they love you dearly? Did they protect you? Did they give you rules? Did they give you discipline? Did they make those little axioms and neurons? Did they let them make the correct connections, or did they give you mixed messages so you didn't know what the heck was going on? And did they give you the idea that they love somebody else more than they love you? In other words, did they mess up your brain? So by the time you're 10 years old, if your brain is messed up, you're going to grow up to be a manic depressive. And a manic depressive is very similar to a psycho, you know, a psychotic, what they call today, what do they call them? God, I don't even know all the names. Anyway, you're not right. You're not right. When you're not right, that's when you start to exhibit behavior like the Jews exhibit. It's not just Jews. It's con men and some criminals, white-collar criminals, that do the same thing as the Jews. They're psychopaths. They're not right. So I don't care if they came from the seed of the Neanderthal or they came from some other religious aspect. they are sick. They are mentally sick.
I think so. I agree with that. You know, the criminals are out there. They can be Judeo-Christians. They can be Muslims. They can be Jews. You know, they can be the Hell's Angels. You know, and I know a lot of really fine Hell's Angels. You know, bikers.
Right.
You know, Christian identity. How they hate the fact that I'm a biker. You know. It's like, God, what do you really got to search for something you dislike about somebody, and if you go through listen to my shows or read the stuff that I've written and published over the years, I can almost guarantee you'll find something that'll piss you off.
Yeah.
Because you're programming. It's your programming.
I'm not playing the game.
And you know what? I think we're all created equal. God created us, and He gave us free will. And I believe, you know, about as religious as you're ever going to get me, is that God was the most bored entity in the universe, so He created us for His entertainment. You know, or Shakespeare, as Shakespeare said, the whole world's a stage. And we're born in here without any knowledge that we got as much power as anybody on earth, because we got a direct connect with the Creator. We call it the soul, and I think it's like a direct line to you know, everybody else. And
you know what I think? I think that God, which I believe is life, I think that God is at the level of whatever life is on earth. When we had the dinosaurs and we had the plants and we had the birds and we had the fish, that's the level that God was at. And as time went on, when the apes came about, eventually the human beings evolved, and then the white man evolved. That's the level that God is at. If there is another level beyond the white man, God will be appropriate for that also. So, you know, in my mind, I'm not going to speak for God because I think God is safe. I mean, I'm not going to be a hypocrite, and I'm not going to take advantage of that either. If I call on the power of God to help me out, it's really serious, and I need His help. I'm not going to abuse Him, but my feeling is that God is the power and the strength within us.
Exactly. And we were given free will. We're given amnesia, so we don't realize what you just said. What you just said is simplicity in itself. And you know, it ain't real complicated, you know. Matter of fact, I had a rocket scientist on my show the last week, and she was dumb as a rock. But what we've got the choice to be good or evil. If you want to take care of your family, you want to protect your country, you want to love somebody, and I think Jesus was about love. You know, if you want to do that, then you're a good person. If you want to control somebody else, if you want to run somebody else's life, you want to tell somebody else how to think, you want to, and you want to take some of their property, you want to take some of their labor, you want to take some of their goods, then you are evil. And what you know, what can you do here? I mean, you've got. How do we fight evil without becoming evil?
You train yourself. You like protect yourself with the shield of knowledge, with the shield of truth, so you know you are a mature, intelligent, sensible person. Then you can go out and you can fight evil. You can fight it. You don't have to be evil to fight evil. All you have to do is recognize it.
I have about a half a dozen arrests under my belt. Not because I'm a cop, not because I'm working for Homeland Security, because I'm a citizen. And if I see somebody hurting somebody, doing something wrong, stealing, I busted one of the biggest con men in the country. The INS thanked me for it. Said he'd put off his retirement until we caught this guy. His name was Dr. Khan, a con artist from South Africa, and I busted him. I arrested him. The sheriff's department came out and picked him up and took him off to jail at my request. You know, I read the rights a little differently. You know, you're under arrest. You got the right to remain silent. Sit down in that chair right there. If you get up, I'll knock you out.